I think so many times people are like scared to make those major moves in their organization. And how did you know? I mean, was it just the fact that they, that whole team was kind of revolting on you, and like you said, you had to go reinvent yourself because you got yourself in that? How did you know that was the right thing to do?
Yeah, that's a brilliant question, and I want to honor it because I take it for granted now. Like I powered through that pretty quick, right? Um, so I'll unpack it in a bit more kind of day to day. I would say after that day, the first course of action was solving the immediate problem, which was how was I going to pay my staff? So in pretty short order, I assessed my options and I borrowed the 10 grand. Um, Beyond that, I started just thinking about, what were the symptoms of the organization and where were the common denominators? And no matter which way I looked at it, Mike, I was at the center of it. Like I just couldn't get away from the fact that I like everywhere I looked was a problem that I had created, some sort of problem. And it was my company, my team had my name on the door. I couldn't presume for a moment that there was some way for me to get out from under the responsibility of that. And then I think I recognized that I didn't have the skills or the training to be able to navigate through this on my own. So I started doing some reading. Around that time, I read our friend Hal Elrod's book, Miracle Morning. I read The Happiness Advantage. I read a bunch of Tony Robbins stuff. I read the book Hell Week. Just a lot of kind of like reflective self-improvement type books, and just immediately made some real changes in my life. The first of all was starting to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, super religiously doing my morning workout routine, creating a pattern of going through gratitude, because you and I both know how it helps us see more abundantly the opportunities available to us in the universe. I started dealing with some of the baggage that I was carrying around that was making me show up as a person in scarcity and demanding a lot of these things from people around me rather than being in a position of abundance and service. So I did that through working through affirmations on a daily basis. I included a meditation practice, daily stretching, daily visualization, daily goal setting. And I just religiously got up every day and went through this practice. Probably took me, by the time I got through it all, maybe about 2 hours. And I've hung on to that. In fact, I get up at, even earlier now, about 3:30, I guess, is kind of where I've settled on it working for me now, because that has made such a difference in my life. I realized that, listen, like we can affect so much in our lives if we look introspectively and deeply about how we're showing up and how we're being of service to those around us. And if we can improve that, literally everything around us changes. And I know it sounds so cliche, but I couldn't have lived it anymore, really. From going from literally having to evaluate whether or not I could make it in this business to living a life that I couldn't have possibly dreamed of in 5 short years. Just, it seems amazing to me. It seems impossible, like a dream to me, but I also recognize that it's very much connected to who I was being and how I started showing up.